Dear and respected Chief Mentor of Achariya Group of Education Institutions, Dr. Arvind. Respected Mr. Srinivas, Commissioner State Taxes and Additional Secretary to Lieutenant Government Puducherry. Respected Dr. Devansh Yadav, IAS Assistant Collector Puducherry. Speakers and dear students. I will just consolidate my talk into 2 or 3 sections. I will not be too long because it cannot be too long and it's going to be boring. I know that. First, let me talk about one thing. When I was in my pre-degree, that is the +2 now, so many years back, I was in a university called as Calicut University in Kerala. My father was dean. So I was doing my +2 and I did not know what to do. It's not that what you want to take further, basically. Incidentally, one of the interesting things that clicked me at that time was there was a doctor there for the University Health Center, and he was the rank holder among the MBBS, and he was posted in Calicut University at that time. I'm talking about so many years back when everything was prestigious, basically. Interestingly, he came to our home one day for a different purpose, and then he was selling, his name was Dr. Jose. He was talking about MBBS, but what he was doing was something else. He had developed a table lamp. So he brought the table lamp just with one wooden plank on the bottom and one on the top, just another wooden plank here, and you got a light. He was explaining how it is useful for any hostels, for example, wherein you don't have much congestion. And he was actually operating it, and it's so simple. You can just take it, put it in your bag and go wherever you want. And it's all wood. I'm talking so many years back about his mind. And he was telling me, if you are not really interested, don't aspire to become a doctor or engineer. He was selling himself. I am the rank holder, basically in MBBS. My mind is with all these novel innovations. And he was actually spreading that table lamps throughout Kerala at one time in the 1980s. Many of the hostels has this Jose lamp. He's a doctor and a brilliant doctor, let me tell you that also. But his passion basically was there. Somewhere this Jose lamp was always in my mind, and I had never known what I should do in my life, to be frank. I think it's a good thing sometimes. So anyway, I took my course and go on and went on. A lot of things basically happened after that. Now finally, what I am trying to say is that entrepreneurship cannot be taught. That is number one. I always feel it's a passion. It's a spirit. It's something on to which you will plunge into. Like in a swimming pool, you see, you will plunge into it. You will just dive into it. That's all. And then you get the experience of what is it like to be in a pond or a swimming pool. That's the same thing with entrepreneurship. A person who has the mind of, or the spirit of entrepreneurship, you need not teach him what is to be done. But the problem where we are facing in India largely is that we are unable to identify the good entrepreneurs among our educational system, which I generally call it as examination system. I generally say, if you all know the great quoting, just to start with one example, is Swami Vivekananda's example. He says, education is the manifestation of perfection already in man. So everybody is born perfect. That's what he says, very simple. That's what every psychologist says. Any educational psychologist says. Every human being is born perfect. But it's for the ecosystem or atmosphere to help this person, him or her, to bring in or manifest the good in him. So again I will repeat what Vivekananda told. Education is the manifestation of perfection already in man. So if you are born, you require an ecosystem which actually brings the best in you. That is where I think our system is missing. Even at homes or in the schools or colleges, if you think differently, you are not considered good. That is the basic issue as far as education is concerned. In fact, entrepreneurship asks for different thinking, creativity. That's the one actually people are looking at. Ideas come from creative mind, curious minds, original minds. But this is what happens in the education system at a school level till you reach the college. Usually the curiosity is slowly killed, because in every classroom they want uniform answers. If I ask in an LKG class what is 1 plus 1, if I say anything like I can make a T, I can make a V, I can make a bridge, I can make 11, nobody will agree with that. I want the answer 2. That's where our exercise starts of not becoming an entrepreneur. So if you have a creative mind coming from there, the first thing that we want is from the school education, you want a foundation. The whole 10 years of our school education makes us uniform in thinking. So if there are 30 students in a class, a teacher wants only one answer from all the 30. Because we end up in examination, not in education. Examination is our criteria basically. You enter into a classroom, first thing that you think is, okay, what am I going to write in the last? How should I write? 3 sentences, 1 sentence, pick up the few things. Where is the whole education basically? It's a holistic process of making a man. But we lose it along with your entrepreneurship spirit. What I am trying to say is, if you have lost it basically over a period of years, this is the time in which you should introspect yourself and ask, is there an entrepreneur in me? Probably the education has actually made you uniform. You might be a different person thinking different. And that is actually lost while you are doing your school education. But reinvent it. Especially like an institution like Acharya, where give you whole freedom of reinventing. Utilizing the best. You think about, am I different from the next person sitting next to me? You should be happy. But our problem is, there's a word called as conformity. C-O-N-F-O-R-M-I-T-Y. You conform to what others do. I will wear what he wears. I will stand as if he stands. I will walk as if he walks. I want to speak as he speaks. Conformity is anti-entrepreneurship. But we are used to it. Every parents will say, every teachers will say, look at him or her. Why don't you do like that? You did not do like that. Why should I do? You are different. But you have to do the things on which you have the capacities. Again back to Vivekananda, everybody has got the capacities. Nobody is born in this world without a capacity. But the issue is, have we identified our capacities? This is where the mismatch happens. Our capacity, if we can identify in the education system, it is easy. If there are 1,000 people, all 1,000 cannot be entrepreneurs. Let me tell you, there will be excellent people in different fields of all that sorts basically. But out of 1,000, there may be 50 or 100 who are really good entrepreneurs who miss out, not inventing themselves, that I have got a capacity of entrepreneurship. So it's quite important to invent yourself basically, take the opportunity and find out, is there an entrepreneur in me? Is there a spirit of taking a risk in me, doing business in me, providing happiness to others in me, sharing the happiness of others with me? These are all a part of entrepreneurship. It has got everything. It's not only profit, it's profit with joy, basically. That's what actually is entrepreneurship. That's what it makes different from a business, basically. So there's a joy that you get in entrepreneurship. There's a joy when you get an idea, when you innovate, when you make it a proposition for entrepreneurship. That's the biggest thing. I don't know whether you have heard about Abraham Maslow. There's a very great psychologist called as Abraham Maslow. What he says is, a person who has a hammer, you know the hammer. A person who has a hammer in his hand feels everything as a nail. Whatever he sees, he feels he will want to kick it. Entrepreneur does the same thing. Hammer is your spirit basically. If you have a hammer inside of entrepreneurship, whomever you see, whomever you watch, you feel it's a nail, I want to hit it. With entrepreneurship. So it's a spirit. Keep it with you, basically. That's what you reinvent it, basically. Now, I just go on to 2 or 3 things and I'll wind up because it's a long session. I don't want to take much of your time, basically. We could talk another time in detail. One thing, don't be conformist. C-O-N-F-O-R-M-I-S-T. Don't be a conformist. If you feel you are thinking, you are walking, you are dealing differently like another person, clap yourself. Because you are amazing. That's why you are doing it different. Absolutely you are different. It's not that why I am doing, why he is not doing. No. Let him do his job, let me do my job. That's what my mind says. That's why I go behind. And that's what the primary step of entrepreneurship is that. That's exactly what you should be following in this total session, because you are going to hear to amazing people who have followed their minds. That's what you are going to hear. And see what joy they would have got actually by following what they thought. And like as our assistant collector was telling, in entrepreneurship, backbenchers make the best of the entrepreneurs. He himself is the example. He is the IAS officer. He was saying he was a backbencher. But see the amazing talent he has, which has brought him here into this session. So again, entrepreneurship says backbenchers are the best people who turn out to be entrepreneurs basically. Now that's one of the things. Now two other things which I usually tell in engineering colleges is that one, see, if you want to have a way for your worries, because people are worried, what is going to happen if I invest something in this? If you want to have a way for your worries, you should plow it. That's what I feel. Plowing is what you do. You plow the land for cultivation. No. You plow the land for cultivating some, I don't know, wheat, your rice, anything, you plow it. So plow your mind basically and give the way for the worries. Worries should go off like water flows out. And then it should actually be fertile enough actually to cultivate. That's exactly what you should be doing basically. So that's one thing. Another one which I always feel, again in engineering, I am talking very specific, I am not going to explain much, it takes a lot of time. Another thing, recently I was in another engineering college talking a talk about the placement cell. I always feel placement cell and entrepreneurship cell do not go together. Whether you like it or not. I am not saying you should close the placement cell, you require it. Definitely for many things you require. But assume the placement cell is less like your examination and education. Education is entrepreneurship, placement cell is examination. If you think in that way. For example, you enter a college, definitely you enter a college and start for a degree thinking that I will get a job somewhere. Where are my placement people coming? But once you start your mindset in that level, you are slowly keeping entrepreneurship away from you. That's what is happening. So, there should be an entrepreneurship cell which actually promotes the entrepreneurship thinking and establishing themselves. As he has rightly pointed out, if you have a chamber of startups, for example, that's going to be different. How many students would like to register in a chamber of startup? And how many will like to register in a placement cell? You'll find the difference over a period of 3-4 years, basically. That could be a good start, basically, for a difference. Because this placement cell usually creates a set mind for the students to start their course and want somebody to come and take them and they will go and work for somebody. That's a simple thing. But as our commissioner was saying, the Government of India policy with startup is a very important one, which is recent, and the government is looking for job providers rather than job seekers. And it is with this intention basically, there is an entrepreneurship development cell started by Government of Puducherry with Industries Department. We function in Piptic, we sit in Piptic. So this was actually started with the idea of creating a culture of entrepreneurship and to bring out. And it was very difficult for me when I took over in 2015 end to convince even government officials what it is, except secretaries who knew very well and supported me. So it was very difficult to actually convince different people on what is entrepreneurship, why should we do it, and where should we take it from the government side. Now, we have got a lot of programs going on. I will just tell 2 or 3 programs which you should be aware of. One is the Student Startup Cell and the Student Startup Competition which is going on. It's over now, screening is going on. We will be declaring the results by March 15th. We have got for every sector, engineering, agriculture, veterinary, arts and science, polytechnic, we had for all the sessions, and we have got a big response to that. The first screening is going on. By March 15th, we are going to declare the results. After which, we have a CAI panel formed from the industries who is going to fund the best 2 of this inside the college for 6 to 9 months. That's the first program that we have taken up. Another one recently which was launched by our Honorable Minister is called as Innovation Cafe. Innovation Cafe is the first of its kind in India, which was actually inaugurated in Pek. The concept is, we want to open up a specific time in once in 3 months for any public to come and share their idea. That's a simple thing. So that means once in 3 months, the frequency can change. This is the first time we have done it. So we open up with advertisement that 2 hours it's open for any public. maybe a homemaker, maybe a passerby, maybe a hawker, maybe a shopkeeper, maybe a fisherman, it doesn't matter basically. This person is invited inside and we have a panel sitting with the industries person, myself, for a nominee from Pintic, a bank person and the Women Development Commission. So we have got 5 people sitting and listening to them basically, their ideas. What we are planning is to facilitate good ideas to the next stage. So it's for the common public. It's not for students, students also walk in. That's not, nobody stops students also coming in. So we had the first one actually happening. Our idea is actually to take it to all communes. And even Panchayat office or college, anybody who is willing, we want to open up the scheme basically of Innovation Cafe who can walk in, just sit, talk to the people there and pass on the idea so that it will be registered and we will help them and handle them if there is a proposition of taking it forward. So that's the second program which the government is doing, very unique as far as India is concerned. It's the first one of this nature for the public that we are actually opening up. And the third one is Women Entrepreneurship Support Scheme. Basically, I should appreciate our Secretary, Mr. Parthiban, for that, for bringing up these 2 programs. Especially, he has actually been instrumental in making a panel, basically, from the government side. That panel is called as a mentor panel team from the government. If anybody is interested in actually utilizing the mentor panel team, again, there is an industries representative, from the Pintic there is a representative, entrepreneurship cell, bank personnel, CAI and the Women Development Corporation. That's women team basically. We sit once in 3 months. Anybody would walk in, talk to us. We will say what is possible, what is not possible. So this is one of the aspects of Women Entrepreneurship Cell that is going on. There are so many other schemes which I am not talking. But what I would suggest to say is, the government of Puducherry is very serious with what we are doing, and over the last 1 year, there is a lot of changes that are happening around you. To add on to one more thing, what Mr. Srinivasan was saying in the beginning, 20 years back, you think of an idea, you generally do not complete the thinking because you think, I don't have money. Why should I think? I am a poor person. I am from a poor family. Why should I think about ideas? It's not so now. You have got ample examples from the speakers you are going to get, from books you are going to read, that money is secondary today for entrepreneurship. It's your ideas, it's your ability to actually convert these ideas into novel, marketable and products of service and use to the public, and how is it the public going to accept? That is the criteria now. If you have a strong idea, if you have an innovation, if you have an original idea which you think there is marketability, come to us. We will help you. The government is ready to help. Because it's not that the government will give you money. They have a limited money for that. But we are already connected with agencies whom will be able to help you. That's what actually we have done over the last 1 year. So please don't think money is to be thought first. 20 years back, you will stop an idea because, as I told, if I don't have money, why should I think about this? It's not so now. First you invest in your idea. Complete your whole idea process of its marketability. Keep it ready. Think of money next. When you think of money next, think of us. There's no issue. You are most welcome actually to the entrepreneurship cell or then we have a website. You could always actually visit the website or call us. What we will do is to identify the worth of your idea and connect you to the people who can invest in you as money, basically. So I am not taking much time in this one. One more suggestion what I have quickly is also another interesting thing which we are doing but we couldn't catch up, is what we call as platform for solutions. Because you have got engineering students here. One day I was talking to the medical students, one day to the nursing students. You should have a platform basically across these disciplines from the students. That is what is missing now. Because we talk to engineering students. Entrepreneurship, as I said, it's not a subject, it's not a language, it's a passion. So if you have some dentist students, if you have got some dental students, if you have got some history students, if you have some English students, all should be together. That's what I personally feel. Maybe that's an opportunity for you to actually create something called as a platform for solutions, in which you could have few other colleges which I could link, because there are so many other colleges who are interested to send 5 or 10 students from that discipline. So when doctors, civil engineers, there can be miracles that can happen with the technology. You may not search for the technology. Doctors are looking for sometimes small things. Engineering colleges sitting with the agriculture college, for example. There are so many things, innovations that can creep in your mind. And one more thing, all engineering students need not have come to engineering because they are passionate about engineering. It need not be. There should be so many reasons for you to have chosen engineering as a subject. So find out why you have chosen engineering. That's why I told, find out yourself. What are your skills? When I talk skills, I am talking about your soft skills. It can be your ability to sing, dance, shout, speak, smile, walk. That's what I told you. Everybody is born in this world with their capacities. Capitalize on that and then link it with your subject. There you come out as your entrepreneur. Because see, in interview sometimes people ask very formal questions now. An entrepreneur doesn't ask formal questions now. He can ask you, can you shout as big as possible? You may feel it is cranky. Cranky means it's entrepreneur. That's all, simple. That means he is the person who is thinking differently, who is acting differently, who is ready to take the challenge, and that's why you are the role model for the world. That's why we have entrepreneurs who are successful around you who are going to speak. They're all going to be different because they're meant to be different. They were born to be different and they should be different. And that's exactly what actually the world wants now. And it's amazing that you have got good speakers coming and talking to you, because the theory doesn't work out. You are going to see the real people who have started their own things and what are the intuitions and why did they take up this. That's what you are going to listen to. Listen carefully, enjoy the sessions, relax, ask questions if you feel that are having no sense. Again, if you feel something as nonsense, probably that is the best thing that you can apply. That's again a principle of entrepreneurship. You look at any inventions in this world, including the Xerox, for example, simple one. When the Xerox was invented first time and somebody got the idea of, I want to copy this, he was called as a cranky man. How do you copy? Get lost. And now you are not living with the Xerox. You be happy living with Xerox. See how any idea for that matter, majority of the ideas and inventions have already been rejected first, thinking it is nonsense. So if you have something coming up to your mind and you feel nonsense, I think you should give weightage for that. Oh, okay, there is something that I have invented. Let me find out. Can I fine tune it and then bring it to a bigger one? That's exactly what actually we are missing. What I am trying to say, all these actually should have reached in the school level. That's what I am trying to say. Whatever that we are discussing, the teacher should be knowing first. So that when a student gives a different answer inside a classroom, he should or she should be asked, why are you saying so? I appreciate it. But we don't have a system of that sort. Let's not worry about the system we don't have. We can always capitalize on the system we have. Apply that. Find out what is the best in you. Bring out the best in you. The summits like this actually helps you in polishing your minds and your thoughts basically to a better entrepreneur. And out of, I don't know, many people who are doing, at least 10% of you come out with some brilliant idea. It will be a great achievement for the summit. That's what I feel. It's a great opportunity that you are getting, listening to one of the best people who have actually created history in entrepreneurship, and entrepreneurship is going to be the way at least for 5 years. There is no doubt. 5 to 10 years, entrepreneurship is going to be the way of life. This is why I am saying it is, in a simple sense, I'll wind up with this. In a simple sense, you see, now the dress you wear, the food you eat, the camera that you have or the cell phone you have is all designed by an entrepreneur. It's not you. You feel that I am going and buying. What are you buying? You are buying a thing somebody gives you. Where is your option of actually buying something you really want tailored? It doesn't exist. The world is ruled by entrepreneurs, whether you like it or not. I have difference of opinion, but the world is so. The America decides. Now it's important that India decides. India started deciding. That's a great thing. India has started deciding because Indian brains were actually deciding many things for America. Now we are thinking independently and saying, okay, why can't we decide? We should decide what should we actually eat, what should we travel on, what should we see, what we should not see, what's a curtain we want, what's a book I have to use, what a shirt I have to wear. It's all with the entrepreneurs basically. So that is the world order. You cannot come out of this and say, no, I don't want to be an entrepreneur. You need not be. But you will be ruled by entrepreneurs basically. You are not ruled by anything else now in the global world. You are ruled by entrepreneurs, maybe tangibly or intangibly, visibly or invisibly, you are being controlled by entrepreneurs. So take your chance. The greatest opportunity when you are youthful, energetic, and have the time to actually put all your energy into it, get into it and do it, that's all. Whether it's a rural area, whether it's an urban area, it doesn't matter. Entrepreneurship is there for everywhere. It doesn't close. Entrepreneurship doesn't close. Take up the chance, do that very well, and from the government side, as our sub-collector also saying, we are all there to help you. If you have anything basically, a support required from the government of Puducherry as well as government of India as a policy, is supporting the startup ventures. So work out. If you have some interesting things coming up with the chamber of this one, also put it there. We could actually discuss on the possibilities of associations later. It is possible. We can always look into it. And I will also suggest a platform for solutions which the government also will be able to look into, finding solutions with an interdisciplinary batch of science or art students basically. There's no language, as I told you. Actually they should sit together and think what is actually better. I appreciate Mr. Aravindan for taking up this great initiative. It's a great initiative. It's not easy to bring in great minds here. So thank you very much. I hope you all enjoy the sessions. Ask questions again, as I say, more nonsense questions so that you can decide your future of entrepreneurship. I wish all the well and best with the function. Thank you.